Hey guys, Justin here with JHart Modelworks coming to you with another video. So on Saturday, I posted the unboxing for the 70 Dodge Challenger from Meixsell. Also, on Saturday, Jason from JHart Modelworks posted that he was doing a Street Machine group build. So, I had already started a little bit, not a whole lot, but I had a little bit started on the Challenger, so I hit him up in a comment in his comment section on that video. I found out about it on Sunday. I was talking to Chris, and Chris was asking me if I was going to get in on it. So I hit up Jason. I'm like, hey, I have a little bit started on it, not a whole lot. Like, I haven't even gotten through the body prep. I have established the ride height, but that's kind of it. And Jason, can I jump in on the group build with the Challenger? If not, it's cool. I'll pick something else later. I've got a buddy build coming up with Chris. I think that's going to be like right after the Challenger. And, I'll just pick something up after that. He's like, no, it's cool. Go ahead and jump in on it. So this is my official post that I will be doing the 70 Dodge Challenger as my entry for Jason's group build for the Street Machine group build. He's got a couple of rules. I believe, I don't remember all of them. There's like a set of rules on his video. I'm going to put a link to his video because I'm not going to get all of them. But my basic understanding of the rules is that it's got to be newer than 1949. It has to be an actual car, not like a semi or motorcycle. It has to be like an actual car, or I think he said maybe a truck, like a pickup type truck, not like a semi style truck. So, and it has to have like some form of owner style modification, whether that be, new wheels and tires, or, small interior mods, engine mods, all the way up to, he said, all the way up to like Pro Street, Pro Touring style, just full on, like it has to have some kind of a modification to it. So I'm like, okay, that's like got me checked off right there. My stuff's going to be modified. So, like I said, this is my official entry that I am in Jason on the group build. This is going to be my second group build. The first group build I did was Charlie Mack's 50th anniversary of Pearl Harbor group build. That's when I did the 44 pickup. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I don't do a lot of group builds normally, because after I don't find out about them until they're like halfway done, or when they launch the group build, I'm already working on something else. So this is a chance for me to get in on one of the group builds in the community. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a blast. I do have a little bit done on this now. I've gotten through maybe most of the body prep this weekend. And like I said, I kind of had the ride height set, but I kind of finalized those modifications this weekend as well. So we're going to go ahead and switch the camera around and take a look at kind of where we're at the moment. All right, quick update on where we're at right now. Body prep is probably 90% done after this weekend. The panel lines are done, nice and rescribed, because this, like, all the trim is extremely thin. Like, all of it is like almost non-existent. So that was a lot of work. We got that done. Mold seams are of course taken care of. We have the front and rear valances on, and we have filled the gaps because there are really bad gaps that come in. There's right on that seam, and then right on this seam here. Yeah, it's this side over here. This one just did not want to fill. I tried to fill this one like 4 times, And at one point in time, I actually broke it back off, even though I had glued it together with Tamiya extra thin, so it should have been melted together solid, and it still split. So I went ahead and added a small bit of strip plastic right back behind the seam just to reinforce it a little bit more and get that, you know, a little bit stronger so I could go back in and fill it yet again. I finally got this smooth. We have drilled out the fog lights because these were molded in and I just didn't care for that. And another thing we've done is we have separated the headlights and grille section from the front bumper section because that's all one piece. And we add a little bit of strip styrene back behind there to reinforce that so that we can go ahead and get that put back in later. So yeah, it'll still sit nice and flush and everything will set properly and it'll be reinforced when we go to glue that back in. But separating this from the front is going to make this a lot easier to paint because this is supposed to be body color. These parts down here should be flat black. And all of this should be flat black except for the headlights need to be silver and the trim needs to be chrome around the front grille. So having this split up into two separate pieces will make that a lot easier to work with. Non-body related, we have modified the rear and front suspension. So the wheels in the kit are female fitment style wheels. And so you've got posts that are supposed to be on the suspension that just stick out and they go inside here. And I don't really care for that. For starters, the wheels wobble. But on top of that, when you sit the car down, the wheels tend to not sit straight. And you know that I'm addicted to my 3D printer. So I have removed the post and I have added in some 3D printed adapters / spacers. So what these do is these glue over, like there's a small post and then there's a large lump and then there's this back piece. So these glue over the lump but remove the actual post. And they're going to allow me to use male Tamiya style wheels instead. I've also added a small lip in here so that I can sit my brakes on there. And this, as opposed to female fitment wheels, you either have to push your brakes way back or make the brakes really wide so that they go around like a post, and I don't really care for that either. But this is going to allow me to just basically, those aren't glued together, they're just pressed together. Just slide those into place like that. And when I actually set them into place, they're going to actually push out the wheels so they sit just exactly where I want them inside that wheel well. So that's going to be really nice. We did pretty much the same thing to the front end, only just like I did with the Nova, I have created an adapter to lower the front end. The Nova I did by about 5 millimeters. This one I've only lowered about 2, and that's because of where it sits and how it sits and how far out I have the wheel pushed. I have the wheel pushed so that the front wheels will sit like right up on that very edge. So I didn't want it to a point where the wheels would actually bump the fender. So I only lowered a little bit. I also didn't want it lowered too great because if you lower it too much in the front, it's going to drag on the front. So I think it's going to be a really nice ride height. And this is an awesome way of accomplishing it, that because it's still, once you get this all painted up, it's going to look fairly stock still. That's a rear tire, but it is the same post size. The fronts are actually smaller width as well as smaller around, but you get the idea. This isn't an actual build post. This is just a quick update post, which isn't very quick because I'm kind of rambling. Get this in the chassis. It still glues into the chassis without any interference. And so that's kind of what that's going to look like. Only other thing I really have going on is the hood, and the hood is completely finished. Just Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. A lot of work went into smoothing in that edge where you glue this in so that it's nice and smooth and seamless. These hoods were a solid fiberglass hood, so this actually would have all been smooth. There wouldn't have been a huge seam there like there was when I glued this in place. We also have removed the little bumps and added in some, I think these are 0.8 millimeter rivets from Top Studio for the washer sprayers. And we've removed the built-in the hood pins, and we've added some photo etch from ProTech. And I went ahead and bare metal foiled the front end, but all in all, hood looks really good. Oh yeah, there's one more thing we did. We went ahead and we have removed the molded in battery as well as the molded in washer fluid reservoir, and I did leave some holes, so I have filled them with some soda can aluminum. This is the one I did first. You can tell because it looks pretty rough and kind of janky because I was, figuring out how I was doing it. This one over here, I kind of had a better idea of what I was doing, and it looks a lot nicer. All right, so that's where we're at with this video. No, it's not a build video. I do intend to hopefully do build videos on this. I want to do a build series on this car. I just haven't had enough time to edit a build series video this week, so I was just going to do an update, as well as this is intended to be my announcer for joining the group build. So check out Blue Ox Modelworks. Check out Jason's video. Like I said, I'm going to have that down in the bottom as well, so you can find out any rules and whatnot and maybe join in on the group build. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys on the next one.